Hello everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nelson with this breaking news update. We do have a tornado warning that was issued about 2 minutes ago. This is for Freeborn County. It's going to run until 5:15. Same supercell we were talking about during the 4 that was producing wall clouds, that were producing some funnel clouds, and just a lot of rotation within the storm. Hey, the sun, guys, is finally trying to poke out of the clouds, and that's a good thing considering look at all this water along the Zumbo River. We are just north of town along Broadway, and you can see out in the distance some of these lights, some of those trees, those are underwater. That's a pathway to a trail, and that's kind of a park area where you can gather, and it just looks ugly around here. I know by my house in the southeastern parts of Rochester, we picked up close to 8 inches of rain. My whole backyard was filled with water. Look at this graphic in terms of rainfall the last 24 hours, and this is mainly, again, this morning. We had 7-8 inches anywhere from parts of Rochester back into parts of Dodge County near Casson, and this is in Dodge Center and Byron, a lot of spots dealing with that. All eyes are on what's going to go on for tonight. Again, there's going to be an opportunity for some of those stronger storms to roll in. The SPC now has upgraded all of our area, at least for a thunderstorm risk, from 90 south, a marginal risk, and then from Highway 9 and south, there's going to be an opportunity for some stronger storms. So what are we looking at for storms for tonight? Main risk here, that's going to be some damaging winds and also some heavy downpours. So we'll have the latest on the storm threat for overnight tonight. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
What's it called? A snow squall.
Warning. You just didn't want to talk about snow. I understand.
I don't. I mean, look at how gross that looks behind you.
So we have all kinds of different warnings, right? We have winter storm warnings, we have winter weather advisories, we have blizzard warnings. And once in a while we get these little scenarios where we can get just a little burst of heavy snowfall. The National Weather Service is like, all right, we have to figure out something to alert folks because this can be troublesome. And at times, I'll use the word, it can be dangerous. There can be some accidents. So they came up with a new warning. This is called a snow squall warning. You're going to probably hear this maybe a couple times this season. At this point, I'm more concerned about, I think, the tornado in Fillmore County. It has history of producing a long track right now. It looks like a damaging tornado. The couplet that we look at what's called storm relative velocity. The storm relative velocity gives us a dissection within the storm to give us an idea where that spinning is going on. The closer those reds and those greens get together, the more sure we are of, all right, this is what's going on within the atmosphere. We are just ready, Mother Nature. Bring it on. And you can see a lot of the green on our map as well, or at least our sky cam here in Mason City. Our temperatures, yes, they're up, but in fact, they're still a little bit below average. This time of year, we should be in the upper 60s. Some of these are already starting to pull in to our eastern counties. So the strongest part of these storms right now are already starting to go through Albert Lea right now. And Nate, if you can possibly get up the Albert Lea sky cam at some point here, we'll take a look at that. This is pulling through probably the strongest part of the storm right now, right around Albert Lea. Severe thunderstorm warning for Freeborn County, Mower County, Dodge County, Olmsted County, and western parts of Fillmore County. So this is extended area of obviously wind and some heavy rainfall too. Remember, we had a thunderstorm that went through, produced already some damage in Albert Lea, and that's the story right now in Albert Lea. The shot right now looks like some very strong winds. Let me give you the lowdown on what's going to happen through tomorrow morning. This kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. So this evening, snow continues. It's not going to be snowing the whole time, it doesn't look like, per our radar and even our computer models indicating that. But if it's not snowing, the roads remain slick and snow covered, and the visibilities will be poor because of the wind and the recent snowfall. Now tonight, I think especially after midnight, snow begins to taper off, and the blowing snow and the very windy conditions will continue. In fact, I think our winds will increase close to 30 and 40 miles an hour. So very blustery start to Tuesday and the last day of 2019. And the rest of, I think, at least Tuesday morning, snow's done with, I think, just after midnight. Still will be slippery because of the blowing and the drifting and, of course, the windy conditions, and the temperatures will be somewhat chilly as well. Let's take a couple of live looks. We've been looking at Mason City and Rochester. This time we'll look at Charles City. Let's look ahead. Fall-like temperatures today, Wednesday. Heck, we'll even throw Thursday in there, all right? I think you're going to like pretty much this forecast in terms of temperatures. Conditions overall today and tomorrow, all right? Thursday, we start to see some rainfall. I couldn't spell winter on our graphics here, but you get the point with a snow plow and a penguin hanging out on the ice and the cold on top of that, all right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going down. We're going to see some plummeting temperatures going back down for highs. in the 40s. It's looking much cooler. So we've seen these with a lot of these storms right now. These are tracking east and northeast really slowly. So that's causing also, we've seen some flash flood warnings down to the south. There's probably going to be some ponding of the roads on top of the threat here for some strong winds. And you can see actually, Sarah, if we zoom out just a little bit more here, this storm really popping up, it looks like in the last 15, 20 minutes or so. But it's this area right along Highway 16 and then Highway 63 that's running north and south out of Rochester and then eventually into western parts of Fillmore County. There's some more storms west. I know a lot of these are not severe at the moment here, but right along 90 and 35 between Albert Lee right now and Austin, these storms are really firing up. Whether it's rain, snow, or sunshine, our live eyes let us show you the conditions in communities across our viewing area. Today, we are excited to announce the launch of our 6th camera in downtown Austin. I went to the site earlier. Take a look. Taggart's along with me, and let's talk a little bit more about this Skycam. Brand new in Austin. Now we have one in Charles City, Mason City, Albert Lee, and Rochester. What's going to make this more unique than you think the other communities?
Well, the fact that it's in Austin. I mean, we are the best community, but no, honestly, I think where you have this at our Twin Towers, downtown Austin, I think it showcases what Austin is.
Hello everyone, Chief Meteorologist Chris Nelson. It's about 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning here. We're going to break in and talk about the severe thunderstorms that are rolling through right now. We have a plethora right now of severe thunderstorm warnings that are out there right now. Surveying this area to see what we have in terms of flooding this afternoon and this evening. But even in Rochester, we've picked up about 2 inches of rainfall. And you go south into say Mason City and Charles City, and even south into Osage and St. Ansgar and Northwood, Britt, maybe a half an inch to an inch, right? Even if we had that, and you haven't had nearly the amount of rain that's been in the northern sections of the area, so that's why we're focusing in on this. The worst part of the storm, where the heaviest stuff falls and where the wind begins to pick up, will be after 11 p.m. through, I think, 5 a.m. That's where traveling is not advised. So just keep in mind as we look at that. Again, the rainfall and the warm temperatures may bring that sharp cutoff, and we're looking at some parts that could be maybe close to an inch or two, and other spots that could be close to a foot of snowfall. And the strong winds will cause blowing and drifting. I mentioned that. Another system that's going to blow in for the end of the week and into the weekend. And heads up, that's going to also bring another chance for some rain, a mix, and some snowfall. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast for the weekend's always in view. For Thanksgiving, a slight chance for some light snowfall. The bigger storm moves in for Friday, and it will impact all of the area as we get into the weekend.
Thank you, Chris.
Today, the Storm Team 3 tour continued, this time in Rochester at Washington Elementary School. If you don't know anything about our interactive program, it is interactive. We do lots of experiments. You can see we're talking to the kids about different severe weather situations. We had our teacher at Washington Elementary School go on our Vandegraaff machine explaining electricity and how lightning works. We also do a liquid nitrogen experiment where we blow up a cloud. And the liquid nitrogen, by the way, is about 300 degrees below zero. So if you touch that with your finger for about a fourth of a second, it can give you 3-degree burns. So you can see Sean up there. He's got his goggles on. He's got long sleeves on. And importantly, most importantly, you can see the kids had a great time. We had about 60 of them from Washington Elementary School. Next week, again, this is a Wednesday thing for us for the Storm Team 3 tour. We're heading out to Elton Hills Elementary School in Rochester. And again, if you have a school you want us to go to weather@KIMT.com and email us. We'd love to come out. You're making it sound way, way easier than this because I'm having some right now, by the way. And I was saying this earlier, this is pretty good stuff.
Oh, good, thanks. We have a lot of repeat customers, and it's been fun coming through all the years. We get to know a lot of people and a lot of repeat customers, and it's just good to see everybody on it once a year.
I love that. Maddie, show us how you do the lemons here. I got to see this.
Chris Nelson is here.
Chris, should I be prepared to slather on SPF 70 tomorrow?
Say that again? I don't want to think about you lathering on anything. Start that over. Jeez, sorry about that script. Anyways.
That would be me.
Oh, thank you for that. And of course, she didn't say it. So you had to say it to me, and you're looking right in my eyes. 65 degrees west to southwest winds. 2 computer models. I'm going to show you the first one. Here we go. Showers and thunderstorms waiting until after midnight and then really starting to intensify. Heavy, heavy rainfall. This model has it lifting north and then east and then pretty much done with by about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we start to heat up. So when you get warmer, yes, the moisture starts to feed back in, and it will start to finally feel, I can use this word, muggy. We're going to get the muggies back in the forecast as temperatures climb. The average, you can see this red line right through, and the yellows are going to be right there for tomorrow, so around average, and then we propel above the average for Wednesday. And look at Thursday's line. Oh yeah, we're happy about the 80. I just want to keep a reminder here, if you are living around the Zumbro River, we are going to see the flood warnings continue. This is going to last likely at least until tomorrow and tomorrow evening. And this line right now, it's about 15.3 feet. Normal flood stage is at about 14. It could crest, guys, close to 18 feet. So this is something we have to watch closely. Back to you. Again, right now we are focusing on this tornado warning right here, and we'll put radar back on to see what it has done. And there still is, I want to say there still is a minor to maybe a moderate signature within this. It's not great, but there's probably just enough spin that there might be either a tornado on the ground, there might be a funnel, there might be just a rotating thunderstorm just down in this area. So sometimes we can get kind of a curvature that shows up on our radar system. You can almost see it. There are no longer any tornado warnings. So we'll kind of sum this up, and we'll get back to programming in a bit. But again, we've been on since about 12:30. Meteorologist Brandon Libby was on, and then I came back on, and we tag teamed this for a while. So we're hoping, again, that you and your family are safe. We'll have this covered for you all evening long. And as of now, no tornado warnings. There are no watches, and it looks like that threat of severe weather has lowered just a bit. But if any warnings take place, we're back. We'll get you taken care of. But for now, guys, we're going to go back to programming.